field. We think it's important to get some repetition on our game field. Kicking was excellent today. Thought that we're punting the ball very well today, and place kicking was good. Cooper was 100%, so that's encouraging. Our timing was good in the passing game as we continue to add stuff. We weren't real physical because we've been in full pads the last couple days, so it was a little bit more finesse work, and those things are important as well. So questions?
I know in the fall camp you usually get more time in with special teams in the kicking game, but since you didn't get as much in during the spring, is it even more of an emphasis or more time on it necessarily, or about more about
you know
normal?
what, we're maybe a little bit more. We're very intentional as far as how we're running our meetings and what things we're integrating during the course of fall camp. The kicking game is so critical. I know a lot of times our fans may not recognize it, but a ball will move more in special team play than any other play in the game, and that's hidden yardage, and we need to get better at that. Our net punting needs to improve. You know, our placement and kickoffs need to improve. Our coverage needs to improve. But I think as we build our depth and things, our snaps have been really good. Jesse's done a great job there, so we're pleased with that. And, you know, we had some challenges last year in the snapping game. Drew did a great job, but you normally don't anticipate you losing your snapper in the first quarter of the first game. And so Jesse's been a good hand.
At running back, I know Kellen and Trey are still doing some things out there, but from the other guys, what have you seen from some of the younger guys?
Well, I think Javon Bigelow is a guy we're going to take a hard look at playing. Xavier is doing some good things as well, and those are probably the top group right now. We'll have a big scrimmage on Saturday, and you'll see us. You know, Javon's got a little bit of a pull in his quad or his ham. I know he's got it wrapped. He's able to go, but we'll see how many plays he can go. But there's things that you see in practice that you like.
What do you like about Bigelow? I mean, you look at his size. You mentioned, I think earlier, 215 pounds now. Is
Right.
it his size? What have you liked about him so
A
far?
combination of size. He's got good change of direction. We think he's got good instincts. He's been reading some of his run keys well. Carries his pads well, and he's got good speed. And so that's a good combination. And anytime you can be up to 215, that just gives you a little bit more added punch.
I guess with Rio, what did you guys like about him that you decided to try him at running back?
We liked his athleticism. We felt like he could play someplace, and so his size was such he wasn't going to be a quarterback in our offense, but his size was good, and so as a result, we took a look at him. He shows some good things, but his ball security, the nuances of a running back, he's just got to come a little bit. And we'll make a determination after Saturday, but I would say he's probably more along the lines of being redshirted this year.
How important is it? Look, I know on offense you want to run the ball better, and obviously you got a new quarterback, but to have a guy or even a couple guys that can really stretch the field in the passing game at receiver and stuff, how important is that in your offense to not have everyone always be in the box and stuff? So how important is that, and where do you think that maybe stands, at least right at this point in camp?
I think we can throw the ball deep. We're certainly not going to be able to throw the ball 70, 80 yards like maybe we have in the past. But between Tyler and Nick, they can throw the ball deep. Some of the things that we have seen, Vontae Cox has got good speed, and Rocket has shown some really promising things. I know he's in a red jersey, but he's got some giddy up, and James Price is doing a good job. And also at that tight end position, Austin Ford has got good speed. I mean, he's a low 4.6 guy, and so I think we can stretch the field there.
So does it really matter if that receiver that can stretch the field is, whether it's a slot receiver or an outside guy? Does it really in your offense? Does that really matter where that person plays necessarily?
It does, depending on how we deploy him. So I'm being a little bit evasive there. What you strive to do is make sure that the back end guys know that, okay, if we're just going to play, as you say, 9-man up there, typically a corner's not going to have post help. And that's hard for a corner to do. And if you can't stretch the field and you don't require to have a team have to have a post player, that makes it harder.
CJ had some pretty big plays his first two seasons in terms of those longer passes. Are there other guys who kind of have to step into that role a little bit more now that he's not going to?
Well, I think it's time for James Price to really finish off his career on a high note, and it's important for James. James has worked hard this summer. He's got good length. Jared Scott's another guy. I wouldn't say he's a deep threat, but his body makes him you know, a formidable guy when you put him out there. I mean, he's 6'6", and so I think we've got some weapons.
Injury-wise, anything new on the injury report as far as?
No, nothing that would be significant, Robert. You know, we've got a couple freshmen that are banged up that are not able to go, but there's, you know, all the things are moving forward, so we're encouraged on that.
Was it a concussion with the Bojay after yesterday?
Yeah, and that's one of the guys. I'll find out a little bit more, but yesterday I knew that the initial assessment was a concussion, and everybody handles things. You know, we appreciate sports medicine. There's a protocol that we have here, and there's boxes that need to be checked. I think we're making college football safer, not only at the University of Wyoming, but all across the country. And so, you know, when you hear about some people saying we need to get rid of the sport of football, I think they're sadly mistaken, because actually there's other sports that are much more dangerous as far as having concussions, and we're on top of what we do. Thanks.